Hey guys, crowrocks here, and I wanted to talk about just a quick video about the concept of ramping. And so in farming builds, especially since you've got black hole up at 100% uptime, well, eventually down the road, you start getting these clusters of enemies. And I slowed it down just so you can kind of see, not at a point where it's like, oh, it's gonna kill me, but it kind of helps drive home the point. You get these bunching up of enemies, and when bosses come down, you can actually see that right now. That boss is getting ramped. It's just bypassing all of these mechanics that I'm trying to hold the boss at bay, and it just pushes them right into the tower. Sometimes there's just like clusters of enemies, and then the boss will come around kind of like these rays are right now, and then they kind of get pushed in. um but the two enemy types that are especially dangerous with this concept are usually bosses and scatters. So bosses, obviously, they have a lot of life, they get pushed in, your tower takes a hit or two. um Hopefully only just the one hit. Scatters, on the other hand, are super dangerous with this concept. So when there's a big chunk of enemies over here, it can literally push the scatter almost directly into your tower. And then when it blows up into the, scatters all over the place, there's all these little small parts that are then going to just like eat your tower. So that's kind of the whole concept of ramping. Some of the things that you can do to help offset this. Um, Chain Lightning Plus is definitely one, because the enemies that tend to stack up quite a bit. Um, I'm just gonna show the enemy details here. So your basic wave hit point enemies, there's gonna be quite a few. There's also going to be quite a few tanks, but one of the easiest ways to just start, like stripping away at these are both a little bit into Poison Swamp, but also into like Chain Lightning Plus. So Chain Lightning Plus is just going to strip down like the basics, the fast, the ranges, ideally the protectors as well. Um, and of course, raise. But you're not worried about raise as much with the ramping concept. You're worried about um, the bosses and the scatters. So hopefully it's kind of a short video, but hopefully that kind of drives home the concept of what, whenever I talk about ramping, you can kind of see that effect. Sometimes it's just bosses getting pushed, like what I was able to show, or other times it's just you get a big bundle of enemies, which these are a little bit smaller because I've been working on Chain Lightning Plus, but you can get a big chunk of enemies, and then bosses just skip on right down and start eating your face. Anyway, I hope you guys found that useful. Um, it's kind of like a really brief concept, but yeah. Anyway, and it's a little bit different also than shotguns. So shotguns are, enemies will bunch up, and then when black hole disappears, then there's a bunch of enemies that just make a charge. So this is a similar issue with black hole, but different. And mostly because of Chronofield, because Chronofield's going to move enemies into that ramping bundle, and then just skip on down. Um, yeah. Anyway, let me see. We've got some scatters here. How nasty are these going to be? Okay, I was able to kill the scatters before they became a problem for me. But sometimes if there's a ramp already, and they're not like hanging out over here, um, one of my runs ended actually like wave 6,300 just because of that. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess I will catch you later.